Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Unpopular Review. I am the executive consultant, and I have picked the final movie of Strong Black Fathers, man. Strong Black Fathers. We started off by a guy trying to get custody of 3 girls over some crackhead. Then we went on, and we saw a guy whose wife died after giving birth, and then he had to go and fight mama, or not fight mama for it, but just try to figure out how to raise a woman, even though he had more help than most people do. Then we had to, I can't remember the last one. What was the last one? Oh, yeah, I didn't get to be on that episode, but it was one of my favorites with Denzel Washington because he did not bury his son. Looked forward to all these movies, and now we get to talk about a guy who won't stay away from his children, even to death, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. You know what? Every time I answer the phone, that's what the person on the other end says to me. Miss me much. Ladies and gentlemen, back here, back in action, Unpopular Review Entertainment. I'm not alone. Joining me is the Tribal Chief of Staff. What's up with you today, Mr. Staff Guy? How are you doing?
As your Tribal Chief of Fathers also, I am here with my Bill Cosby sweater because Bill Cosby stars in this movie, and we've been talking about Mr. Cosby. You got to make sure you look the part. But we're not here by ourselves. We got that man from New York.
And does he look the part, ladies and gentlemen? Not changing his name anymore. He said, F that. Probably said the real thing, so I have to edit out. That'll be Vic.
Yeah, that's funny. I would do that. But, you know, today's a tired day. So, you know what I mean? I just changed the background, didn't change the name. But next week, we will change the name. I just got to figure out what that's going to be. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Speaking of tired, I'm glad to see you wearing that tired sweatshirt. All right, so.
What? Go Mets.
Ghost Dad. Ghost Dad is about a father who's really
why the
busy.
Rain Cloud always want to go? First of all, I was nice to you earlier today.
Rain
right?
Cloud.
You want to come out with the Rain Cloud?
Every single one of New York.
I even sent you gifts.
Real New Yorkers are Mets
that.
fans.
You know what I mean? Look at you. See, I even sent you gifts.
Is that a wrist? Is that a wrist belt?
It's
No.
a wrist belt. He wants somebody to sign. That's what it is.
No, that's not what that is.
I'm gonna try to have it signed by next week so I can bring it.
I didn't even put the belt in there. I forgot to put the belt in there.
Oh, this is actually a gift. I thought this was belt the whole time.
No, it's not.
Let's open it live on air.
We're about to open it up right here, live on tape. We're going
live on tape, baby.
We're going to open it up because I didn't know. I really thought it was a belt. I was going to bring Swan over to sign it. So.
That is hilarious. I forgot.
Guys, is it in bubble wrap?
Oh,
happy birthday, I guess, right?
Oh, man. Yeah. Straight from the clearance section. I love it. But it's going to be...
it don't matter where it comes
I know.
from.
Trust me, no matter. No matter because I haven't worn a pair of these in a while, bro. Hey, ho, ho. Shout out to the Miz and John Morrison. All right, so we're doing this, and we're wearing these. We're wearing these the entire episode, ladies and gentlemen. Ghost Dad is about a
glasses are
father.
better than this movie, so let's get talking about it.
This Ghost Dad is about a father who has 3 children and barely pays them any mind. When I say barely pays them any mind, understand I'm not saying he does not love them. I'm not saying that he completely neglects them because they look like they're very well provided for. But he does not give them the time and affection that these 3 children so crave and desire, especially after losing their mother. Gets to the cab worships Satan, cab goes overboard, he passes away, he wants some extra time so he can make sure that his life insurance is good for the kids. Bada bing, bada boom, you have a movie called Ghost Dad. Let's talk about it. Tribal Chief of Staff, you said my glasses, which is accurate, are better in this movie. Why did you say that, young Tribal Chief?
Well, when we discussed strong black fathers, and you even mentioned this movie, I didn't remember watching it. But again, as you would always say, I watch everything because I did remember it once I started watching it. And this movie came out 1990. So I'm a freshman in high school, so I'm 16 years old. This was a little bit too corny for me, and I've always been a fan of Bill Cosby, despite what has come to light recently. And you got Kimberly Russell in this movie from Head of the Class. You know what I'm saying? You got Omar Gooding in this movie, probably his first movie, right? This movie is directed by Sidney Poitier, for heaven's sakes. But who I am today, I watch this movie and I go, he's not hearing a word I say. He takes his ears off while I'm talking on air, like the utter disrespect while I'm speaking to take off your headphones.
Ho ho.
But watching this movie, I just couldn't help to understand that it was just really corny. And I can see why a lot of his people, the reason why Richard Pryor said, tell Bill I said have a coconut smile and shut the poop up. Right? Because when I watch this movie, I see
people laugh when you say what you say.
The darkest man in this movie is Bill Cosby. His children are all light skinned. His mistress or Joan is light skinned. Omar Gooding is light skinned. The teacher in class is lighter of skin. Like, damn, Bill, was you afraid? The only person in this movie of any dark skin complexion was the nurse who did the x-ray. Like, the only other dark-skinned person in this movie. But all that aside, did I like the movie and what I saw about the movie? I did think it was actually pretty damn funny. Okay? It actually was. My wife was upset. I said I was watching Ghost Dance. She was like, she just ran in here when to watch it. Like, I love this movie. And I'm watching it and I'm just like, it actually is funny. I see why it was picked to be a strong black father's movie because, as you said, here go a guy, as you're over here, as you said, here go a father who's very busy to be with his children. But in death, he makes up for a lot of things that he made mistakes in life. And it even speaks honestly with his daughter about, why they don't have life insurance and why the house wasn't paid off. And, that's some honest stuff you got to come up with. Like, hey, your mom got sick. I had to do what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? I thought I would have time. And clearly I didn't. So I thought it was lessons even learned in that. I was sitting here thinking to myself, like, man, I meant to change my life insurance policy about a month ago. It's time I edit my life insurance policy. Things like that. So thumbs up, thumbs down. I still digress in that because, damn, Bill, I got a sweater on for you. Got my guy? Where's the dark people in this movie? Vic, what you think?
I remember when this movie came out, I had mixed feelings about it because I was so hopped up on Three Ninjas, like I didn't really want to watch anything else. And then the other thing is just that, like, I felt like they should have put Denise in his daughter's role because he was always arguing with Denise. And it was always just a tit for tat with Denise. And I felt like if Denise would have been put in there, it would have been much better. The problems that I had with this movie was just the fact that I was just a fan of the cast of the show. And I wanted the kids to be the cast of the show. But then later on in life, I look at it like, you know what? He just put a whole bunch of people on. Because everybody there did other stuff after the fact. But then the thing is that Bill Cosby...
I'm sorry. He said he put people on. Who did he put on in this movie that was other than Omar Gooding? Everybody else was an actor already.
No, but what I'm saying is that he gave them shine. Because at that time, when he in the 90s, in the early 90s, like, dude was huge.
He was, but at this point, and now you got movies like Edward Scissorhands, Goodfellas, Misery, Mark for Death, Total Recall, Turtles came out, this Rocky 5. Like, this movie at its time, Total Recall with Darkman, like all these movies came out.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that you comparing it to that. What I'm saying is just that, like, at the time, the guy was just a really big figure.
He was absolutely huge. Next to Roseanne Barr. Well, he was bigger than Roseanne Barr, but you're right. Yeah, he was the face of the 90s. 100%. He was absolutely the face.
So a lot of the shit that he touched just went mainstream. Now, mind you, the movie was very cheese, and it was very much 90s cheese.
It was supposed to be, though.
But at the same time, it was very, very effective as far as getting the message across. I mean, there's a lot of things that didn't make sense. because, like, you know, if you a ghost and then you all of a sudden you concentrate and then people got to hear you, and then 1 minute your voice is all weird, and then the next minute your voice is normal. So, like, you know, like if you try to break it down into technicalities, you're gonna fucking you know, shoot yourself in the head. But the reality of the situation is just that, like, it was cheese. It was a nice, cute little story. And the thing about Bill is just that he had a knack for keeping things clean. You know, like there wasn't a situation where it ever got too crazy. And I'll give you an example of that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the situations that I know that a lot of fathers of daughters probably would have loved was that whole situation when he went through the phone and choked out.
Yes, absolutely. You
I'm sure
called
that-
her a B?
Yes.
Yes.
And you know, and that reminded me of the situation when Will Smith and Martin Lawrence answered the door on Reggie in Bad Boys, and then, you know, started like acting super extra hood with the gun and all of that. You know what I mean? When they were being just protective of the daughter. It reminded me a little bit of that, and that whole situation. It was very, very unique, you know. And they use like the theme and how this movie works to do something like that. How you literally go through the phone, and then mind you, he said he was just like, "Yo, I'm from the phone company." That shit had me
Are you
dying.
the devil? No, I'm from the phone company. That was hilarious.
And then the other one where he told the cabbie that he was Satan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm Satan. Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, he came back talking about, "Here, my Lord, here's your wallet." And he's just like, "Go to hell and sit in cold and wait for it to snow this month."
What you got? What you got exactly?
Yo, this dude had me rolling, son. I love Cosby. I'm sorry, y'all, because you know what? You ever listen to Bill Cosby himself?
Yeah.
That the whole, oh man, it's so funny. Anyway, go ahead. I talk too much.
I thought this movie was great. I haven't seen this movie in God knows how long. You know, it's been so long since I've seen this movie. I can barely remember everything that happened. You know, that movie was hilarious to me. It really was. The way he when he died, and like for instance, this is before he died. When he was talking, as you call him, Omar Gooding, and he was Omar was trying to show him the new.
Talking about Peanut, man.
Yeah,
We talking about Peanut from Baby Boy,
and he was trying to show him his bicycle or something like that. He said, "Oh, and you wanted to come over and show it off? How very Republican of you, or something like that." It was just funny.
That was hilarious.
It's comedic timing of it, you know. It was really funny. Or even when he was in the cab, he was like, "I am Satan," as Vic just said, and "I am Satan." And I command, or actually after it, because this, I will say this, in the trailer that I made, it was supposed to intentionally look like it was a scary movie, you know.
Yeah,
right?
of course. You always said when you had your blinking animation, yeah.
Right. So when the cab driver does turn around, it had one scary scene. The cab driver does turn around, like, because it's a different time, so the camera work and the cinematography doesn't look as good, of course.
It's like Scrooge. It's like Scrooged.
So he turns around. He said, "Do you worship Satan?" Right. Even the camera panel and everything like that was very dark. Right. And he was like, "I've been meaning to do it. I just haven't had a chance to come around to it yet." As he's holding on for dear life. It's just very, very funny to me. Him going through the telephone was very, very funny to me. Him throwing little boy out the car was very, very funny to me. You know, him getting upset at Omar Gooding trying to blackmail remind me of The Dark Knight.
He said $50,000, yo.
He said $50,000. He left the meeting. He was so hot. This is one of the things. This is one of my things that I have a problem with sometimes. It's called pride, right? So it's like, I'm in the middle of this. You call me with this bull crap? Oh no, I'm about to go handle you right now.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, you did this to me. It was hilarious. Hilarious. I really thought, and the acting wasn't bad. You know, I don't think the acting was bad. It's going to win any Oscars or anything? No, it's definitely not. But, you know, it did what it had to do. It just showed time. Time is a mother, man. We all know is a birthday of mine just passed. And once again, thank you, Vic, for the shades and but time is a mother. I mean, I feel like this movie came out over 30 years ago now.
Facts.
It doesn't feel like it to me.
Facts.
I'm not saying it felt like it came out 5 years ago, but it doesn't feel like 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Time is the one thing you have and you don't at the same time. Mm. And if you have something you have to do, it's probably best that you take care of, because you don't know who you affect when something happens. That's why they make all these movies and they talk about the slightest thing in time F everything up.
Mm.
But I really did enjoy this movie. I think it was a good closer, a good ending for what we were trying to accomplish with this month. And shout out to you, Tribal Chief of Staff, because you picked this. And I gave you back talk. I gave you flack about it because I felt like it should have been next month. I'm not saying I still don't believe in that, but I could see.
But no, what
he made it make sense when she said.
Let's say that I did say I get it. It should have been next month, but it was my pick. What could I have done? That's what I want to represent. I will say this though, great Vic, because you said something big, and it's just I guess I do have a little bit of the executive consultant inside of me, where this movie made it cost $30 million to make. You believe that?
That makes sense.
But it only made 24. It was a complete flop.
Nah, that makes sense too.
It was a complete flop. But in the 90s, it didn't. This was probably Bill's biggest flop. This was probably Bill Cosby's version of Will Smith's Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure.
I don't think Wild Wild West
had a flop
though.
because it was financially, it was 100% a flop. What flops are, does it make more money than what it cost? And it didn't. It did not make its money back. Wild Wild West was considered one of the biggest flops in summer movie history. Not just a flop, but
Will Smith is Afterlife.
But like all time, like that. And thank God they came out at Christmas. Afterlife did. Which, by the way, speaking of Strong Black Fathers Month, I actually understand and like Afterlife. It's very bad and everything in itself, but the story behind the father saying to his son, like, father gets hurt, he's a world-renowned, galaxy-renowned hero who's impaired, and his son, who's not prepared for none of this, has to go out there on his own and sow his wild oats and save the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought from that perspective of being a father and understanding it from that side, I thought the concept or, the story method of it was good, but horrible movie. But was this a bad movie? Stick around and find out.
If you don't agree with whatever my opinion is, you can go bleep yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, find out what we're going to review coming up next Tuesday and Thursday. Stay with us. You're watching a popular review.
So, how is he?
Well, same old Ethan.
How many times has Hunt's government betrayed him, disavowed him, cast him aside? How long before a man like that has had enough?
You can't fight the friction! Ethan, that's not who we are.
Maybe we need to reconsider that.
Do you know what it means to be on the run?
Bad men are after us. Really bad.
I hate living like this!
You're special, Charlie.
I'm not special. I'm a monster! Charlie!
I want to help her.
You want to use her. Charlie? Don't be stupid.
Where's Mommy?
Do you feel that? Let her go or it's gonna get a lot worse.
Where's Mommy? Tell me now! I don't want to hurt anyone, but it feels kind of good.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Join us next Tuesday as we have our final edition of Mission Impossible. At least the 7 comes out. Mission Impossible 6 Fallout, as well as next Thursday, beginning our Stephen King novels turn into movies with Vic's pick, Firestarter. But today we're talking about...
And my Maverick Out the Theater review. Boom! Maverick, baby! I'm going to say it every show!
Today we're talking about Ghost Dad, but definitely check out those 3 movies, that being Firestarter, Mission Impossible 6, as well as Top Gun Maverick. A lot of Tom Cruise, I feel like. But let's go ahead and talk about it. Final thoughts, thumbs up, thumbs down. Tribal Chief of Staff, we're going to start off with you for this movie. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Listen, based upon the criteria of what I chose, right? Strong Black Fathers. It's the same way we do our franchise, and I try to explain, it's an action movie. That's where it has to fit in that genre, not as a storybook novel. This movie was about a strong Black father who took care of his kids, even in death. I have to like this movie. Corny or not, thumbs up.
Vic.
The movie was very nostalgic. It brought me back. It's definitely a lot of 90s cheese. It brought me back to the time when Bill Cosby was like a top guy, for lack of a better phrase. You know what I mean? But But yeah, the guy's always been hilarious. You know, I always clean and hilarious. Makes me want to go watch some other Cosby stuff. Makes me want to go watch Fat Albert or something like that. You know what I mean?
I want to see Meteor Man.
Oh wow, Golden Lords. Okay. Yeah. Clearly, thumbs up. I would watch this movie again just for the goof, honestly. Just for the laughs.
goof.
You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, thumbs up all day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I actually picked this movie. I think we know why I picked this movie. I was entertained by this movie. It was better than the Batman, and I enjoyed it from beginning to end. You know, hey, go sit on some coals and go bleep yourself. This movie gets a thumbs up from me. We haven't had a movie to get a thumb down in a while. I think the last one was Tribal Chief of Staff giving a thumbs down to Fatherhood. That was possible. So we're going to find out what's going on. The Stephen King novels turn into movies. I think might get a couple thumbs down. Looking forward to that. Shrek is also coming up. Might be a little bit different from Mission Impossible. So we will see, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this. Please make sure you stay with us in Unpopular Review Entertainment. A lot of movies, a lot of TV shows.
Smash the like buttons.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. For Tribal Chief of Staff, for Vic, I am the Exec Consultant, and we'll see you right here next time on Unpopular Review. So glad I